Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are doing well. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Hi, so welcome to a new series on this object-oriented programming in VBA. And in this series, we are going to see solid principle in VBA. So basically, this solid principle composed of 5 different principles. The first one is the single responsibility principle, and in this video, we are going to learn about this one. And the next one is open and closed, and then third one is list scope substitution, fourth one is interface segregation, and fifth one is this dependency inversion. So SOLIND, so it's the solid is composed of this first character of each of these principle. So in this video we are going to learn about the single responsibility principle, and I'm using this website, so I'll put the link for this website in the description. So it's saying single responsibility principle. So what does this mean? So basically it means that a class should only have one responsibility. So it should only do one thing. So it's saying that it should only have one region to change. So if you need to change a class, then there should be only one region to change in that class. Okay, and in this example they use book as example, so I'll use the same example. And one more thing, that why this solid principle is necessary. So basically this is necessary to reduce complexity and write testable code. Okay, so it's saying that design principle encourages us to create more maintainable, understandable and flexible software. Consequently, as our application grow in size, we can reduce their complexity and save ourselves a lot of headache further down the road. So if you follow this solid principle, then it will be easy to change, and it will be easy to handle a large project which need changes frequently. So in this video we are going to learn about this SRP, that means single responsibility principle. So I have a new blank file and we are going to create everything from scratch. So I'll insert a class. So insert class module, let's call this as book. Now in this class I do have 3 different fields: private, let's say our author as string, so name, that means book name, as string, and text, or let's say content as string. So this content basically means all this text in that particular book. It means text, image, everything. So that is this content as a string. Now I can generate getter and setter for this. If you use rubber duck, then you can just do this, refresh, refactor, and then encapsulate field. Select all, wrap this. So it will generate this getter and setter, or you can just write those manually. Okay, now let's add some basic property. Public function is text present content. Let's say I want to search something in that particular book, that okay, if this text is present in that book or not, boolean. Okay, so we can just do that kind of things, like you can just check that okay, if this contains that particular text. So let me take this, so search text as text. So this is okay because this is directly related to this book, right, that this text is present or not. Okay, now we can do some more basic operation related to this book, like try to let's say I do have another method, that public tab replace text. Okay, so we can just say okay, search text as string and replace with as string. Brilliant, sorry, this need to be as string. Okay, so we can do this replacing that. Okay, if we have some mistake in this book, then we can just replace that particular text and do that particular things, like these are that validation. So add code for this method. So I'll use this same comment in this section. I'm not going to implement those methods. Now let's say I want to print this method, print this book content. So it's a public sub print, let's say this, and basically this just print that particular book. Okay, now this is okay that I want to print this book until it's not implementing everything related to this printing. Okay, so let's say if we need to format this content before printing, or we need to do more text orientation or cover or some other things related to that book, and that's not implemented in this method. So if we implement everything, like format this and then print this into this printer, or basically if we do everything in this particular method, then it will violate this single responsibility principle. So basically this is okay to have a print book method in this class, but this should only do one operation, that okay, print this book, but use different class to do those formatting, text orientation, and then print in different medium. Okay, so basically if we have another class, let's say class, it's a printer, let's say we do have this printer class. So public sub the print to local printer, let's say content as string. So basically we can say okay, and so it will print into this local format and print to local printer. Or let's say we do have another method, print to immediate window. So basically the same thing, like content. So let's say you can just say debug.print and then content. We can have some formatting method, like we can have a method that public function format content. So instead of public, it should be private. Okay, so we can just say okay, content equals format content and then content. Now basically this is formatting, and then this is printing to this immediate window, or we can just have another method that print to text file or something like that. So this printing functionality is encapsulated in this printer class. So this printer class is basically for printing to different medium. Okay, and that's how we are segregating responsibility. Okay, so this book class can use like print book, so we can just say printer given printer as printer. Okay, and then we can just say okay, given printer dot print to, let's say, immediate window or local window, and then we can just say this does content. So basically this print book is just delegating, it's sending this content to this particular class to do those printing. So this print book doesn't have to implement everything related to printer, this printer class responsibility. Okay, so like format content or replace content, add content, something like that. So like add page number or header, footer, those things. Okay, so this kind of details is related to this printer class. It's not responsibility of this book class. So that's how we are segregating responsibility, and we are relieving this book class from that particular responsibility, and that's what this single responsibility principle. It means this particular class should have only one particular task. Okay, so it doesn't know how this printing things goes on, like if it add this header or footer, if it's add page number or not, if it's format the content or not. So that's the responsibility of this printer class. So that's the single responsibility principle, that one class should do only one thing. Okay, it should have only one responsibility, and if we need to change this class, then it should be changed for that particular reason. Okay, so like we can just add another thing, like okay, instead of author being a string, it should some author class. Like that author class could have, you know, more details like author name, then author address, you know, date of birth, and some other thing. Okay, so we can just change only that particular thing that is related to this book class, not this printing details class or something like that. Okay, so this is single responsibility principle. So this is not a concrete example. I think you get the idea. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestion, feel free to comment in this video link. Thanks.